I mean, obviously, we know where we at. We know what we have done the last few months as far as dealing with Xander and Scott and everything that comes with the territory. We've been very open about it, and obviously, he earned the right to become a free agent. I think he's doing everything that he has to do to make a decision right in the future, and hopefully that decision includes the Boston Red Sox. I think we've been very honest, very genuine, very transparent about the whole thing, and but it's a process. Just like Turner's was a process, and Correa, Swanson is the same thing. Part of the process is meeting with teams. We're doing that with other guys too. We're meeting with players, and you want to know who they are. They want to know who the organization is and all that stuff. I bet Xander, is curious about what other teams have to offer. So we'll see where it takes us. We stay in touch. The other day, the Netherlands were playing USA, and he's texting me about the game. I'm actually going to Arizona in the upcoming days, and hopefully I can see him there. I'm going to go see Kike and Nick and Ref, Bobby, JT, and he's working out in Arizona. So if we can set up a lunch or something, we'll do it. And probably we won't talk business. We'll talk about life. So that's the beauty of this stuff. That there's a business side of it, there's the personal side of it, but going back to the business side of it is the one that you care about. We're engaged, which is the most important thing. And like I said before, hopefully, the future of Xander Bogaerts is with the Boston Red Sox, and the future of the Boston Red Sox is with Xander Bogaerts.
How much do you like you guys are putting your best foot forward?
I cannot talk about the other teams, which foot they have put out there, but I think we've done a good job throughout the process right now to put ourselves where we at.
How much have you thought through what life would be like without Xander, and what the...
I think at the end of the day, life with Xander or without Xander, it has to be better anyways. We're not depending on one guy. We got to do a lot of work in the off season. And obviously the conversation is going to be around Xander, but I think the conversation should be about what we're going to do to be better, and for us to move forward, obviously we've been talking about Xander the whole time, but we got to be realistic too. There's a chance that he won't be back, because he made the decision to go somewhere else, and we still got to be ready, right? And if he signs with us, if he comes back with us, we still have work to do. So I think the way I see it, the way the organization sees it, is like, regardless of what happened, we still got to keep pushing to be better. We finished last year. That's the bottom line. And there's a lot of things that we have to do to be better. One of the things, like, to sign more good players, and we're in the process of doing that, just talking to players, doing homework, and, spending all the energy to do that. So, obviously, there's a process throughout. There's not too many guys that have signed, so far in the free agency, whatever you want to call it, off season, whatever. So, like I said, we just got to be better, and I think we're in the process of doing that.
Alex, you've been used as kind of a recruiting tool in the past to try to sell them on coming here. Have you done that at all prior to arriving in San Diego this summer?
We have talked to a lot of players. We're still in the process of talking to players in the next few days, and that's what I'm here for. I don't want to finish last. I want to win the division, make it to the playoffs, and have fun again. And like I told Chaim, and players have told Chaim, Trevor and Kike and Nick and guys that they've been there the last few years. Trevor is the guy that it actually caught my attention last year towards the end. We had a meeting with the guys, and he said that what we did during the process, it helped him to make a decision, and he wants to pay it forward. So I'm glad that he offered himself to do this. Obviously, Kike has been in winning teams and have a lot of connections. I think he's one of the players that have more contacts in his phone from other players. So using them as recruiting, helpful.
As you said, you're last place last year. Free agents don't always want to go to a team that is coming off the season. Does that sort of networking, using players, do you have to work a little bit harder right now to reestablish Boston as a place free agents want to come?
I do believe you take the emotions out of it and you break out the season the right way. And I know John was here right now, right? And just a quick reminder of they beat us 17 out of 19 times. And if you take that away, of course we cannot do that. We become a playoff team, right? So for how far it looks and how bad it looks, if you start breaking it down, the way I've done it the last 2 or 3 months, yeah, we got work to do, but we're not as bad as we played last year. I think at one point during the season, we were 10 games over 500. We got to Chicago July 3rd, and everything happened, and, obviously we were short in personnel. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't do during the season, but at the same time, kind of like going into 21, like, yeah, the organization finished last, but you could see that there were pieces. And, I was just talking about our rotation, our pitching staff. You talk about Bayo and Houck and Whitlock. If you're playing somewhere else, you're like, wow, there's upside there. The young kicks, the young guns, but we play in a market that the expectations are high, and the pressure of the fan base and the media and everybody that is involved is part of it, right? And but those 3 kids are really good. And then you got Pivetta, who's a good pitcher, and he has to be better. We got Chris, that he has to be healthy. Of course, there's a lot of question marks, a lot of red flags, but I do believe we're going to be in a good spot. And obviously there's a plan in place, and we're trying to execute it. Sometimes, there's guys that are going to sign with other teams. There's others that are going to sign with us. And then, we'll see where we at in February, and we go from there.
You talked about the upside and red flags in the rotation. Have you all talked about anything kind of out of the box about managing workload among starters?
Obviously with Pax back, we'll see where we at, what we're going to do. I think we have to wait till the whole thing happens, and then we go from there. But there's a lot of stuff that we can actually do as far as like being, efficient with the guys and take care of them. We always talk about April and May, months that, we take care of guys, but it seems like this year we got to be smarter. Tanner coming from surgery, Whitlock coming from surgery, Chris where he's at, Pax coming from where he's at. So Brad and Brandon and the whole medical staff, they're going to put a plan in place, and we're going to execute it.
There's obviously you talk about upsiding risks with the rotation guys you have now. Do you feel like you need another established force?
I think we will get a starter. I think we're talking to a few of them, and we will get a starter. I think the deeper we are, the better we're going to be. And we saw it last year. At one point, we were really, really good, and we were short. And hopefully that doesn't happen next year. And for that not to happen, we need to add some arms. So we're in the process of, talking to a lot of guys. There's a lot of people out there that they're very talented and they're really, really good. And hopefully we can get 1 or 2 of those guys, and we can be deeper.
Where is Chris at?
Chris is in Fort Myers.
In terms of his,
Oh, he's doing good. He's doing good. Yeah. Moving well, doing everything. So, so far so good in the offseason.
are you expecting him to be able to, get himself prepared as a starter and be ready to go?
Yeah, the plan right now is for that. Yeah, to be a starter. Yeah.
Does he start throwing?
I think he starts throwing next week in his program. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on having Whitlock be a starter?
I do believe for him, physically, is the right thing to do. We always talk about him being a weapon in the bullpen and everything that he did, but I think every 5 days for him is the correct thing to do. His stuff is going to play. There's going to be some growing pains because he's, he hasn't done it in a while, and we saw it, right? Teams are going to make adjustments, all that. But if you go 6 innings and they score 3 runs, I think you're pretty good, and that's what we expect out of him.
Alex, as far as Garrett and Tanner go, where are they at in their recoveries right now?
Right now, everything is, trending in the positive way. Tanner is in West Palm Beach at that training facility. Everything is good. I talked to him a few days ago, actually 3 days ago, so everything so far so good. With Whit, I do believe, the way he's moving is trending in the right direction. Obviously, we got to be careful with that one. It's not that go from that surgery just to pose or go get on the mound. But I do believe everything is going to be fine, and he'll be ready for spring training.
When you look at your bullpen mix now with Rodriguez and Martin,
With who?
Rodriguez and
With Rodriguez?
Singer from Coldplay now in the mix, do you feel like you have, it's already a much improved group from last year?
Like I said, we're going to add guys, and we need to do that. If you look at our season last year, it was a struggle to get 27 outs, and the quality of the arms are going to be okay. Rodriguez is a good one. His changeup plays. He has a good sinker. We got to get him to throw more strikes, but we feel pretty confident that he can do the job. With that, that's all I can talk right now.
Alex, how much time are you going to have to spend in spring training getting your players ready for all the rule changes?
I'll know on Wednesday. We got a big meeting here. We're going to talk about it. One of the things that, in our case, going into spring training, there's a lot of guys that are planning on playing in the tournament, so they're going to be away, and that's not good for our group. But we'll make adjustments. One of the things that we talk about is not complaining about the rules; it's taking advantage of the rules. We got to be without shifting. We got to be a lot better running the bases without the throw overs and all that stuff. So we'll take advantage of that. We'll try to be more athletic to do that. And but I think on Wednesday we're gonna go over a lot of stuff here with MLB and all the gray areas and the stuff that we kind of don't understand. We'll get clarified, and then we'll go from there.
There's still some things you're not sure.
No, it's just a few things with the pitch clock and disengagements, all that stuff. That obviously. It's a new set of rules. It's a new game, so just to understand a few things, and then go from there. And still, when we get to spring training, there's going to be to make.
Yeah. Are they going to start with the spring training games right away? The new rules will be.
I believe that's going to be the case. Yeah. Should be.
Ramon moved up to bench coach.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the other spot?
We're talking about it. It might be from the organization, within the organization, if we want to, or somebody from outside. We might actually move somebody to the first base coaching job from the staff. So we're not there yet. We're talking about it.
What did you like about Ramon in that role, and did you consider naming him an associate manager or giving him another title that no one has?
Actually, Ramon was going to be in the bench anyways. So it just, first things first, happy for Will. I do believe it's a great opportunity for him. Just to learn from Boch and be in that situation. Obviously, he knows CY. It's a great relationship, and we're very proud of him. We're very happy with him the last 2 years here, as far as organizing spring training and keeping engaged, and the communication with the front office was amazing. So we wish him luck, against the rest of the American League except us. With Ramon, he's just a special baseball mind, and we started playing in 1996 in Caguas, and for us to be in front of this program, it means a lot. It means a lot to us, and I know he's very excited. Ramon doesn't talk too much, and he doesn't show too much emotion, but if you see him now, you talk to him now, he's very excited about this. This is a guy that I do believe at one point he's going to manage in the big leagues. Now it's just a matter of him, do the things that he has to do as a bench coach and help us, to be better, and he will do that.
When you look at the lineup and just how the offense and some of the inconsistencies last year, what are you hoping to them this year, and maybe what you guys can add this winter that'll make it a better group overall?
I think we did a good job in September as far as on base percentage and working counts and all that stuff. If you look at the numbers, Rafi, he took his walks. Kike, his on base percentage was better. Obviously, Casas is a different at bat. He helps that. The two amazing. So we just got to make sure we're very consistent with our approach, do not deviate from the process. And, it's a tough league, and a league that has elite stuff. 2-0 is not the hitter's count. 2-0 is kind of like an 0-2 count. So you have to control the strike zone. I'm not saying we're getting back to 0-3, 0-4, 0-5. We're going to have 5-hour games, grinding at bats and all that stuff. But I think if you work the count to your advantage and you can take advantage of certain counts, you're going to be okay. And in September, if you look at the numbers, I think we led the league in on-base percentage, which it was really good. And obviously having Trevor healthy is going to be a plus. You know, when he was healthy and swinging the bat well, we were one of the best offense in the big league. So, you know, let's see what happens in the offseason. But I think on-base percentage guys, yeah, they're good.
Alex, you've mentioned athleticism a couple of times now this offseason. How has that sort of played into the roster construction, and especially the guys that you've protected for the Rule 5 this week?
I think it's something that the game is going to go towards that. Of course, without the shifting and obviously with the base running stuff, I think you know, that's something that if you look around the league, and always the teams that are at the end, right, at you know, playing in that World Series, they're very athletic. They're really good defending. They're really good running the bases. You look at the Astros, for how great they are. You look at their athletes; they're really good. You know, you look at the Phillies. You saw what they, well, you know, if that's true, you saw what they did, right? They got one of the best athletes in the big league. So this is the way the game is going. I think it's the right way to go. You know, like it should be a very dynamic game. You know, people to enjoy it, and hopefully we can accomplish that and be better in that area. And hopefully that can help us to win more games.
That was a priority with the guys you protected for the Rule 5.
They're just good athletes, man. It just happens that they're really good. You know, just fast, good defenders. Obviously, there's a few things that they still have to work on, but I think overall we did a good job protecting the right guys, and we're in a good spot.
How do you view first base, obviously, right now with Hosmer?
Yeah, I mean, we got the whole situation with Eric, and we got Casas, right? And I think the offseason is going to take care of that. We think highly of both of them. We traded for Eric last year, you know, with that whole situation, and you know, he got hurt, you know, but we see him as a veteran that can put a good at bat, and he's a good defender. With Casas, obviously the offseason or the whatever winter ball season didn't go the way we wanted, you know, when with the knee thing, you know. I think more repetitions we're going to help him out, you know, especially in that environment. So hopefully, you know, he recovers the right way. He's ready to go to spring training, and we'll see what happens when we have to make decisions.
Does that concern you at all? He's had a couple of lower body injuries to, you know, his ankle and now
It's something that we have to talk about it. He's a big dude. You know, he's still a kid. He's still growing. So, you know, one of the things that we did in our exit meetings, Kiyoshi, he talked to him about, you know, like, you see the power, there's more there, but obviously, you know, the body's going to change. And, you know, we've been on top of him, you know, as far as like his off season. I think rest was good for him in a sense, right? Because obviously where he was physically, but now there's a few things adjustments-wise that he needs to do in the off season as far as like plyometrics and all that stuff. He's a good athlete for how big he is, but of course, you know, we want him to keep him healthy. So they're gonna make adjustments and see how the offseason goes. Kiyoshi's been, if I'm traveling, Kiyoshi's been traveling more than me. You know, he's been all over the place. He went to see Rafi in the DR. He's actually seen Doogie, I think, today. So he's been on top of it. But I agree with you. There's a guy that we need to keep healthy, you know, for him to produce, and hopefully we can make adjustments for that to happen.
What does that mean for him in terms of the tournament?
On the WBC, Casas?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't know. He's on the list for us or for Team Puerto Rico. Yeah, we play them, so we got to beat them. I'm not sure if he's gonna be on the active roster.
With what you were just talking about with him, would he be better served to be in?
We'll talk about it. I think obviously I have a pretty good idea who's gonna make the team, who's not gonna make the team. So you know, we'll get there when we get there.
You said earlier about Ramon was going to be on the bench anyway. Were you reshuffling things? Were you going to reshuffle things anyway, even if Will didn't leave? Or?
We were talking about it. I think you know, obviously he did a good job at first base, but I think there's value with him in on the bench. So at one point we talked about it like, yeah, there's a good chance he was going to be with us on the bench. Probably, I don't want to say in a quality control coach or whatever they call that role. I don't want to, yeah. that one, but there was a good chance he was going to be on the bench.
Alex, in terms of international market of free agency, have you ever heard of Japanese pitchers like Senga or Fujinami? And if you have, what's your impression of them?
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about international free agents until they're post. Yeah.
Do you have any like impression, just like have you
I think the only impressions I have, there's a few Japanese pitchers in Puerto Rico right now pitching for Carolina. They're really good, by the way. Yeah.
You talk about power, and do you think you need to add a power bat, or is a healthy story in Kike? You know, is there power within that can come back out next?
I think a healthy story and a healthy Kike is going to help. I think Doogie can do that, although we prefer him to hit 50 doubles. I think Rafi at one point, you know, the way his season was going, and then he got hurt. You know, you saw it. You know, like, of course, on a daily basis, they're gonna say that, yeah, he's great, he's doing okay, you know, all that. But you saw him running, you saw him with his swings and all that stuff. It's amazing because the previous year it was his elbow, right, and last year were his legs. If you don't have your legs, you're not gonna drive the ball. And I think it was a challenge for him. But the way he finished the season, it tells you what's gonna happen in the future, right? And when he controls the strikes on the way he did, the power is gonna be, you know, off the charts in my opinion. I think Tristan is gonna hit homers, but I think, of course, let's see what happens with the roster. But you know, Kike healthy is gonna help, and Trevor healthy is gonna help too.